First rule of 1313 is, do not talk about wicked stepbrother.
Second rule of 1313 is, you do not talk about wicked stepbrother.
Third rule of 1313 is, no shirts, no chicks.
Fourth rule of 1313 is, scenes will go on as long as they have to.
And the last rule of 1313 is, if this is your first 1313 film, run!
Run for your life!
Get out!
Go!
Save yourself! We watched a movie today.
1313. What are we on now?
Wicked Stepbrother.
Yeah. Yeah. I even forgot between the time of the start of the joke until now.
Shit. What can you say about this movie?
We didn't even bother trying to time out any of the padding.
No.
Because this movie is...
all padding.
For the most part, yeah. Went from half the movie to basically all of it.
Yeah.
It was the same scene repeated like 6 times and then had
in different locations around his estate.
No, not even different locations around the estate. It's like, it was the same scene. Guys walked in the front door, said hello about 500,000 times,
hello?
And walked around,
hello?
And then eventually found something
hello?
that they liked, and
whether it's a pool or a gym or a hot tub,
which was not even filled
with water. It was just an empty tub. And he's like, oh yeah, gonna get my hot tub on. What? Oh my god, this place is amazing. I'm never gonna leave.
Now, of course, the funny thing is, we first thought that he went into the hot tub because the hot tub outside was covered up. But then, there was a little scene a little bit later where a guy uncovered the hot tub and got in. So, the guy getting in the hot tub in the actual house actually serves no purpose.
David Dakota thought he could pass off his bathtub as an indoor hot tub.
Yeah, it's totally a hot tub.
He did it! Good job! Okay, let me get
My brain is so full of fuck right now.
Let me get on with plot. I'm just going to give you the Netflix synopsis, because that's actually the entire plot.
Well, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. A faceless killer, the guy's stepbrother, if you couldn't guess by the title, or wherever YouTube fucking has it. A faceless killer is killing all of Jared's friends on his 18th birthday. Wicked plan about real estate or something. Lex Luthor did it up. I don't fucking know. Fuck. There's not a lot you can say about this.
Bruce Willis is dead.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is literally the most retarded 1313 movie we've come across.
Yeah. Whereas the other, oh my god, and it didn't even go blue.
No,
they padded.
No going blue this time. They had water scenes, but we didn't bother keeping track of those because there were so many. Because it was supposed to take place during a pool party, so there's a lot of swimming.
We figured that it all had
ironically enough, there wasn't a whole lot of swimming.
Yeah, the one time that they actually had swimming and didn't get killed in the pool and or tub, they were
lasted like a minute and a half.
Yeah, we're having fun. Okay, put lotion on my back, man.
No.
Well, come on, man.
No.
Fucking gay.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
there's nothing we can say.
It boggles the mind. I mean, the thing is, like, we're running out of things to critique with these films.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it is our own fault that we chose the movies for this month, but at the same time, like, it's becoming more and more difficult to bitch, or even to actually fully critique these movies, because every single one of these movies are the exact same film.
This one, however, I think is the most generic.
It is.
Everyone before had at least a little bit of a twist. What was it?
I will say the guy who plays Sebastian, the stepbrother, at least is mugging enough.
Yeah, I should give some names here.
It's probably the most realistic performance I've ever seen in all of these movies.
The main kid's name is Jared. The stepbrother's name is Sebastian. The stepmother's name is...
Minerva.
Minerva, that's right. I was thinking it started with a V.
How dare you to smirch that name.
There's a bunch of other people in there. I think Mike was one. CJ. I don't know.
The Meat.
The Meat.
Meat the Meat.
Overall, though, it wasn't a very impressive film, because the whole thing is...
And then there was incest.
Oh, we'll get into that. But, if you have a movie where the killer is the stepbrother, and you want to make him faceless throughout a good majority of the movie, you don't call it Wicked Stepbrother, you goddamn idiots!
You don't call it 1313 either.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You don't make this movie.
If you have a movie where you want the stepbrother to be the killer, Don't make that movie.
It's. I think it's also because we're seeing the same actors, the same sets. Like everything's being used over and over again.
It's in his house again.
He's using the same shots as before. Like I mean, there's only so many ways you could shoot a location. And
should I just tell him the twist?
The twist. Fine, tell him the twist.
As with all 1313 films, there's a supernatural, fucking air quotes.
Well, this isn't supernatural.
It is
this one.
Twist to
It wasn't the same way it was last time either.
Billy the Kid, you had a skin stealer. Bermuda Triangle, you had Lantians. This one, you had a schizophrenic Jared imagining Sebastian was real. Turns out he wasn't, and he was killing all the people the whole time.
You know, the funny thing is, too, even though obviously this is schizophrenia, like, you know, Tyler Durden and the narrator and whatnot, this is a problem with this, is that they call it multiple personality disorder, which is nothing like schizophrenia whatsoever. I mean... Alright, like, a little bit of history on me. I work in mental health to a certain degree, and I come across people who are involved, you know, with these types of mental disorders all the time. And I've come across people who are schizophrenic and people with multiple personality disorders, and guess what? No. This is not how it goes.
Just no.
I mean, like, it's boggling my mind how lazy these movies are. I mean, these movies are getting lazier as we go along, and it's just boggling my mind because these movies have distribution. These movies have actors in them that have been in actual films before. Not everybody, but, you know, mostly the Cougars are.
I think one of the guys, I think in Cougar Call, I could be wrong, was a main character in iteration of Power Rangers.
I don't know. I mean, either way,
good for him.
They're all bad. I mean, like, there are very few, like, half-heartedly decent actors.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the actors, then. Let's talk about the actors of this film. You have about 45 billion shirtless guys just roaming this house. They go by Pokemon and Legend of Zelda rules. If the door's unlocked, you're allowed to come in, no matter what.
There's even this conversation where a couple of the characters have this, like, you know, it's like we should probably not just walk in.
This is breaking and entering.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we were invited here. The door's open. We should just go inside. I'm like,
we're not going to break anything.
Like, I'm sorry, like, no, like, all of you guys are dicks. You guys are just walking into this guy's house.
And that was the thing I said at the beginning. The first guy, he was killed after he entered the house. The second guy was killed after he entered the house. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 1,000th guy were all killed after they entered the house without being let in. They just entered.
Well, except for the last guy.
Except the last guy,
he wasn't let in. He was answered at the door, and he was told to go away, and
then he
forced his way in.
You're right.
I mean, so
everything here could be just self-defense. I don't know.
So this is David the Cocteau basically saying, "Stay out of my house, or I will kill you."
Which is weird because I spent most of this movie trying to find his house on Google Maps. So I'm sorry,
we will
David.
find you, and we will critique you to your face. We would love to have David actually on this show.
Yeah, David, if you're not
like,
busy.
we will. I will. This is like an official declaration from us. Obviously, I'm not thinking that he's going to be like inclined to either watch or obviously come on the show. But we will have a spot on the couch for you to talk about your movies, David. And you can tell me how shitty my movies are and whatnot. It'll be great.
Critique back and forth.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
But about this movie,
all these shout on shitty on movies and whatnot will be great. Be a great episode of just a random review. It's not even ShitFlix.
Yeah.
We'll just talk to them.
The actors in this film, how bland were they? I want to say white bread, but
Wonder Bread.
There's a bit of a difference between white breads that, you know, is there. They're more bland than that. I think they're carbon atoms.
At least the black guy in this movie didn't get hit over the head with a log.
Or a random piece of artifact that he happened to have in his house.
Either way, he didn't. He got.
He got killed.
He got slit.
5 minutes in.
Yeah. I mean, these movies. There's only like. This brings me back to, like, you know, the Death Nurse films and, like, Crazy Fat Ethel 2 and whatnot, and there's probably tons of other movies that do the same thing. Like, a lot of my early films did the same thing because you have a house, you want to make a movie with some friends or whatever, and the house is basically all you have access to. But I'm sorry, if you have enough money to live in a house this size, you can afford some other fucking locations. Even Birdemic had other locations.
Viewing it from, like, I don't know, a permit sort of thing. He obviously lives either in Malibu or LA. It's within that area.
Yeah.
Burbank,
in California.
He is somewhere in the heart of Hollywood, pretty much. It's not that hard to make a movie.
He's got a picture of the Hollywood sign on his wall.
Well, I mean, anyone could. But the fact of the matter is, he's definitely in that area. All the things where it only takes place in his house all say filming location, Malibu, California, or LA, wherever it was.
Yeah, it was
He
Malibu.
films there. Point being, it's not that hard to film in that area. Maybe, at least here on the East Coast, Hampstead, Westminster area sort of thing, there is no one looking out for, like, do you have a permit to film here or something like that? Not a damn soul. Maybe where it's more common to film.
If it's in, like, you know, if it's in Malibu and whatnot, like, you definitely would have to try to get a film permit. And
so
whatnot.
Maybe it's more difficult to.
But
Let's
still,
just go right ahead.
But still, though, it's not that, like, especially if this guy's been in the industry for over 20 years, like, this should not be a prop for him. He should have at least the contacts to ask for a permit. Now, of course, it also goes back to the fact of how much effort this guy's willing to put into his movies, considering how many 1313 movies he came out with in 2012.
No, too many.
I mean, like, isn't, like, the whole series made in 2012?
There were a bunch of there was a few 2011 and a few 2013.
So mostly it was made in 2012. Day of the Mayans. This movie was trying to bring about the end of the world. It's exhausting watching these movies because you know, and especially with being in the industry myself, and also having so many friends that are really struggling to not only just make it in the industry, but also make ends meet in the industry. It's really fucking frustrating when you see shit like this getting deals on Netflix and all that jazz, because money is changing hands. So, these movies not only were sold to a distribution company, but they were also sold to Netflix. So, there is still money being changed hands, and we are working our asses off just trying to get $1,000 for a budget.
Okay.
I mean,
we're talking about 1313 as a whole.
This movie as a whole was the one thing that really sparked it for me because of how lazy and basically just not. It's not even like not even uncommitted or like non-committed or whatnot. It's just that they're not attached at all.
No.
They're just like.
I think it's really illustrated every time that somebody dies in this film.
Oh,
you got the killer coming up with the knife. Cut back between the two. Whatever the guy's doing, he's got his eyes closed, obviously. And then finally, when the killer approaches them, here's the death. Here's the death. Fucking shot for shot. Open eye. Zoom in. No, not even that. You don't even see that.
No, you just see the hand.
You just see the hand down. And then that's it.
Actually, probably wasn't even that good of a sound effect.
Swing.
Swing.
That's about it. All right, let's...
You're on par with Wayne's World doing the voices for their mouths. It's like, swing! But that was probably the most entertaining part of this entire night.
Yeah,
it's just... I mean, I've got nothing. I've got literally nothing else.
Let me...
Go for it.
All right, so I want to talk real quick about padding. Not as a whole. It may turn into that, but padding is what you usually do
in bras.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
To get your film to a certain length, or to waits for something to happen.
If you do not have enough material to fully flesh out the movie. This is bad.
This is terrible in films. You should the one thing that I know about screenwriting, I don't know a lot, but what I do know is that every scene should serve a purpose. Like, every shot should serve a purpose. Whether it's artistic purpose or it is plot purpose, it should serve a purpose.
See, we disagree on that.
Okay.
So when it comes down to a film theoretical point of view and whatnot, but that's a whole different conversation.
Well,
and that delves into like film theory and philosophy.
And you even know that padding is padding.
Yeah, no, it's with when it comes down to padding as the subject and whatnot, it's generally agreed upon that if you're trying to make a feature and you have to pad it out to make a feature, it's better just to make a really succinct short film.
Exactly, and that's what I'm...
It's hard for you to sell it, but at the same time, though, you get a much better work.
That's what I mean, the fact that each of these films is an hour and 16 minutes. Or,
Actually, this one was shorter. This one was 2 minutes shorter.
Point being, they're all like 75 minutes long.
Roughly, yeah.
Like, almost exactly. I don't think I've seen one shorter than that, but at the same time, I don't think I've seen one longer than that.
Everything's all over an hour.
Mm-hmm. But just barely, which makes me think, as we said in our previous one, over half the movie is just padding. Same thing with this film. It's all padding. It's just like, he walks outside, he walks to here, the killer's coming after him. 3 minutes later, he'll get there. That's the issue.
Well, here's something really funny. One of David Duchovny's first movies, Creepazoids. I've mentioned it before in other 1313 reviews. It's this shitty little post-apocalyptic horror sci-fi film from like 1986 or something like that. It ran 68 minutes long, and the funny thing is, there was a couple scenes in the movie that was padded out with people taking showers. I'm not even kidding. The only difference being they actually had, girls and, people under 40 and whatnot. I'm sorry. It comes off as sneezy and whatnot. And there are some people who are like, it's like, you don't need, it's like, what, are you just this shallow guy? To some degree, yeah. I'm a guy in the United States. What do you expect? But at the same time,
20s guy.
Yeah, I'm a millennial child in the United States. I'm fucked from birth. But when it comes down to these specific types of movies, now obviously we might be the wrong demographic for the 1313 films.
Definitely.
If this literally is,
we have brain function.
We have brain function. It has nothing to do with sexuality whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I mean, Cougar Cult was. I still think is the worst one we've seen so far.
We can go over... there was a makeout in this movie. There was a heterosexual makeout between older women, who Minerva, and Jared, her stepson, and Sebastian, her...
son.
Maybe? Her son in the way of plot up until the reveal of you two are one and the same. So, there was and it was like... It was disturbing more than hot because the fact is...
It's incestual.
It's incestual.
There's a lot of incestual shit in here. I mean, there's actually several parts where you see Sebastian talking to Jared and they're literally like, half an inch away from people's noses.
Hey, it's your birthday, bro. Just go ahead and have some wine.
Chug it. Chug it all.
Don't mind the roofies at the bottom.
Go easy on that stuff. It's going to take a little while for that to kick in.
So, yeah, it's a film. But...
And it sucks.
I don't... It's... Oh, wait. Back real quick to padding. The fact of the matter is, as we said in the last one, going blue. That was its padding. But when it was going blue, that's always when something was happening. It was when the doctor was operating. When it was a dream sequence. When they were transported to the fourth dimension. I don't fucking know. The fact of the matter is, it was always when something was happening. The fact that they didn't put blue on the padding in this shows that even they knew that there was nothing happening. There was not... They were walking around, and there were stingers in the music.
The music would just change. The music would just change in tempo and tone and theme and whatnot. Like, halfway through the scene, like, it'd be like hijinksy music, and then it would fade out, and then it would become like sinister shit. I'm like,
didn't give a shit.
This is somebody who has absolutely no understanding of how to conduct a movie. Period, regardless of whether it's a thriller or not. Like, I have never seen a solitary film in David Duchovny's filmography that I have actually seen beyond the 1313 movies or Talking Cat, like Creepazoids and all that jazz. I have not seen a solitary film that gives me the impression that he has a fundamental understanding of how the genre works. The reason I stay away from horror films is because I'm not good at making horror.
Here's a little thing I want to throw out to the audience. In trying to think of shots from this film, I couldn't think of anything, except for other 1313. They were the first ones to come to mind. I thought Billy the Kid. I thought Frankenqueen. I was thinking all these ones, and this one never came to mind. That's how bland this is among other bland films.
Bland shit 101.
It honestly is.
I mean, it's just tiring talking about the damn thing.
I really wish I could reveal it.
I know. I
really wish.
And yeah, I guess we'll have more vigor for the next movie, I suppose. But at the same time, like, this movie has just like drained me out. I've got very little left here. I mean, it's just it could come across as that I'm just very limited to my critical analysis of these types of movies, but not after you've sat through 5 of them. 5 of the same fucking movie over and over
we got so many more to go.
What, 6?
5 more.
I thought there was 11 total.
No, well, I'm sure there is. There's probably 13 of them.
There's legions of them.
They're making more every day.
She's going to release them, like, just in the next couple of years. It's going to be the 14 series. It's going to be 50 of them.
Do you have anything else to add?
Nothing.
Okay.
I have nothing. My mind is so full of thought.
Then the last thing we have to cover before final thoughts is name something positive. A single good thing. Fuck.
They finally had a real reason to use the pool, and they didn't use it.
Yeah, that's right. The whole thing is it's a pool party for his birthday.
I seriously think that they edited this movie together, like, as soon as they were done filming it, too.
I think they were doing it as they were filming it.
Yeah, like, as soon as they... Like, the editor would be on set, and as soon as they dumped the footage, he would just edit it as they were going along.
Whoever the editor is, they put him in whatever room they weren't about to walk into for that shot.
And then David will come in after, like a couple scenes. He's like, how's it going? I look at how it is. He was like, all right, good. Keep that shit up. You're awesome. We
thought something was wrong with this film for 3 reasons. 1, no blue. 2, the fact that they had a makeout scene. And 3, it opened with a guy wearing a shirt.
Though it didn't stay on.
Oh, no, it took off like 30 seconds in. But still, he walked on the set wearing a shirt. Something's wrong with that. This movie's...
There's that one guy who, like, he showed up and he just, like, stripped outside.
He did!
And it wasn't... He didn't even strip to, like, a bathing suit. He stripped to fucking briefs.
Here's 2 things about it. Okay, first off, they showed that the guy had to climb over a gate in order to get it. Different guy. But he had to climb over a gate to get in. He has a gate was open, though. No, I thought it was closed.
No, it was open.
Okay, so he's even stupider than I thought, in which case my other point is invalid, because what I was going to say was, if it was closed, the whole thing is, everyone's walking through this house. They just walk in, and then they walk around for fucking eons. Hello? Hello?
I'm sorry, how do they not run into somebody?
Hello? They never say that someone's, like, missing. They never say that something has happened to them. They are still walking around the house. There's one point where 2 guys get killed after they jump into the pool. Then there's another entire guy who gets introduced, walks around the house, and gets killed before the other guy comes outside to say, hey guys, you gotta leave the pool, the party's done. How did he not meet him? Obviously, Jared was in the house. He was in there about to walk outside. And the guy walked in and said, hello guys, hey, hello, hey, guys, hello.
And also, it's not much of a pool party if there's only like 5 people showing up.
There's only 5 people. They're all showing up at completely different times. And by the time that one person arrives, the other person's dead. Fuck it. Final thoughts. I'm fucking done.
I'm done. I mean, that's all I have really when it comes down to final thoughts. Like the one thing that I have with final thoughts is simply this: if these movies continue on this downward progression, which I know they're going to, considering how we set the schedule up. If these movies continue on a downward progression, I'm going to lose all patience with movies. Like, the thing is with this show, because the bar keeps getting lowered, I mean, nothing has gone as bad as Sandy Hook at this point.
Not yet.
But at the same time, it's starting to really get there. And I don't want the bar to lower anymore, because the great thing is about being a snobbish film person is that you have standards, and my standards are starting to get really low to a point where I might not be able to do my job. So
that was a one thing that I find very interesting is the fact that during like Taint Light or Sandy Hook, we'd be like, oh my god, how dare you shoot on this sort of format, or how dare you switch between that and that. Now we're just like, hey, you didn't have a camera shadow. Oh, good. Woo!
Was that a special effect that wasn't in Adobe Premiere Pro 1.5?
Good job. But no, for final thoughts, I basically agree with Matt. It's a matter of standard slipping. I agree with Matt. That's all I gotta say. You know, actually, I agree with you on a lot of shit thinking about it, especially with 1313 and all this. We're agreeing on tons of shit.
Well, we have a lot of the same views.
I've been agreeing with you basically since I met you.
Well, I mean, we've been friends for a little while. I mean, like, it's not exactly like it's...
Oh my god. You're just an alternate personality in my mind.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm my own person.
Maybe I'm in your mind, even.
No, David, you're your own
How do I
person.
know what experiences I've lived through?
You have lived them.
How
David.
old am I, even?
You're 20, David.
Oh, dear God, I don't know what my life is anymore.
Your life is your own, David.
Who am I?
You're David Short. Next is up is Hercules Unbound. See what 1313 does to us? You should have seen him after Fight Club.